There is an ancient proverb.
The pupil is ready, the master will appear. It will take dedication, it will take time.
This is Desiree Dubonnet welcoming you to Nelson Medicine. This is Desiree Dubonnet. I'm going to be talking about our brand new CyberMagnetic mat. We had the CyberMagnetic chair, and you can see about that later. But this is a mat that goes on the chair, any bed, and you can see it here on the upper left of your picture. Now here what we're going to be talking is not just like the tricorder from Star Trek, but we have the trivector readings, and we're going to be putting electrical energy into the body through magnetic coils. We're going to be placing sound into this chair, into the patient, and then bone conduction. So we're doing this in a system. It's very interesting to be able to put this different energy, different than what the harness does in your other systems. And then we're able to use similar to the tricorder, a small device fits in your hand, where now we can measure the electrical reactions. We can measure how the music is reacting. We can measure where there's problems, where there's places of too much energy, too little, where there's a lack of focus and a lack of flow of the different energy patterns. So now we have a whole new form of electroacupuncture with a system of electrical detection that can even allow us to detect ghosts. Because when there's something that is not of the normal magnetic realm, this little device will tell us, and it tells us that something is different, something's wrong out of the laws of physics. And that might be a ghost, or it might be a spirit, or it might be something else inside the system. But now we're opening up to a whole new form of vibration. Not just sound, bone conduction, and also the electromagnetic stem of magnetic energy into the body, which will start to affect and shift the blood. The blood will respond to the electrical energy from the magnetic coils. So I want to show you an old video that we made of this a long time ago. It helps to make a little bit more sense, but also on this channel we'll have much more to show you.
Cybernetic. This means we're going to put a regulatory feedback loop to be able to monitor and change an autofocus within a system. Magnetic. This means we're going to use magnetic energy to make something happen. Cybermagnetic is a new word that we've coined because we're going to be using a magnetic stimulus into the body electric. This magnetic stimulus will be in an autofocus loop that we will measure how the body reacts to it magnetically to be able to alter the next stimulus and thereby to make a perfect blend as the body electric guides itself and autofocuses itself to peak performance, health, stress reduction. We start by recognizing in the 5th grade we were taught our bodies are made of atoms. Atoms have protons and neutrons in the nucleus and electrons in the out. And these electrons never touch. You see, they magnetically repel. They both have the same charge, and they can't touch each other because if they get close, they will repel each other. So the outer electrons in one hand cannot touch the outer electrons in another hand. In fact, no atom in the body touches any other atom. It is all held together by electromagnetic, static, quantic, energetic forces. If we condensed all the electrons and protons of the body into one little ball, it would be so small that it would take a very powerful microscope to even see it. Our bodies are 99.9999999999999% empty spaces, and this empty space is filled with energetic fields. And these fields all have a strong magnetic quality. water is a magnetic substance. It is a liquid crystal. And water has a slight magnetic pole. Thereby, water blends in magnetic fashions. Hemoglobin has iron at its center. And the iron at the center is a very strong magnetic quality. So we will find that the body, which is made mostly of water and blood, has a very, very strong magnetic quality to it. We've known about magnetic healing for thousands and thousands of years, and many things have been done with magnetic healing tables and healing shoes and bracelets, etc. But these do not have a feedback loop, in other words, a guided loop that would be able to modify in a cybernetic regulatory feedback fashion to autofocus the magnetic impulse to maximize the blood flow and maximize circulation, maximize stress reduction, and maximize peak performance. This is the essential quality of the cybermagnetic system. Because what we are is a body electric, a body magnetic, energetic. We're going to start by analyzing the voice and the voice pattern and the vibrations of the voice. And from this voice pattern, we're going to be able to get a base idea of the vibrational quality of the human. If they don't have the voice, we're going to ask some simple questions to get an idea where the psychological, social hang-ups might be that are upsetting the balance, causing the distress, causing a lack of the body to be able to harmonize properly. Once we start with that, then we're going to be able to send magnetic forces into the body through small little magnetic coils that would be placed in our relaxation chair. We're going to use zero gravity chairs. We're going to be using a whole different type of thing, and then the magnetic impulse will flow into the body, different tones, set up different vibration rates in the body magnetic, and then we will look at how the body responds. We will measure the body magnetic and how it reacts to these different stimuli. Some stimuli it'll say I like, some it'll say I don't like. Some will say give me a little more, give me a little less. Modify this, increase the frequency, increase the amplitude. All of this will happen in such a way that the body will then, through the detection principle, auto-focus the energy coming into it to maximize the peak performance and stress reduction. This will make a guided imagery much more intense. Everything we do psychologically will be much more intense, as we will be taking the mental, verbal, controlling mind a little bit out of the loop and let the body electric change its responses, change its stimuli. The very body electric will do this. Extremely complex. How many electrons are there in the human body? If we take all the grains of sand on the planet Earth and times that by all of the stars that we see at night in the sky, the grains of sand times the stars, and there are still more electrons in one human body. This incredibly vast, complex, fractal energy is then able to modify the stimulation through the cybernetic loop. The body electric, that innate intelligence that gradually will be able to, in a non-verbal fashion, find the areas that need work, address the social problems, the psychological problems, choose the therapy programs, choose the vibration, the music, the relaxation, all to achieve peak performance and to balance the body electric. It is so complex, this human body, that every trip, every guided imagery, every journey into the cybermagnetic will be different. It'll always be changing. You'll never be able to be bored because every experience will be rich and fulfilling not like the last. It'll always be healing, the unconscious and the body electric, guiding you deeper and deeper into relaxation. This is the force of CyberMagnetic.
Here's our cybermagnetic chair for you to take a look at and to understand. And now we've made this in many different ways. This chair will be approximately $10,000 retail, but you'll be able to use it in different places in your office, depending on what type of office you have, and be able to then cycle this cybernetic loop as we measure and then affect. So I wanted you to know more about the cybermagnetic effects.